Here's how the most surprising difference between how people perceive emotion in the East and the West can help you to see negative feelings in a different light. Researchers studying the differences in emotional experience between the East and the West have come across a really curious paradox. They've called it the East-West divide, and what they're talking about is how people in East Asia tend to report more negative emotions, and yet research suggests that they experience much lower levels of anxiety and depression. There are a number of potential reasons for this, but I'd like to talk about the one that I think is the most interesting. So in the West, emotions are viewed as internal. Even when we blame our feelings on other people or circumstance, the experience of the emotion itself is seen as an individual, personal, internal thing. This means that when we're feeling bad, it's easy to see our emotions as faults or failings, and this can lead to a further sense of guilt or shame or anxiety, which of course only adds fuel to the original emotional fire. And there's a tricky balance here, because taking responsibility is of course a good thing, but it's easily conflated with blaming yourself for feeling a certain way or being unable to control powerful emotions. But in the East, by contrast, emotions are not seen as merely belonging to you, but as part of the larger context of your life, including your relationships and the bigger social and cultural environment that you're in. This seems to make it easier to distance yourself from negative emotions and regulate them more effectively. As a Westerner, I find this perspective really hard to process. Emotions as internal is so ingrained in me that trying to consider this more connected, contextual take is like trying to make one of those magic eye pictures come into focus. But the more I think about it, the easier it is to get a glimpse of the alternate image, of a world in which emotions are shared and where feelings connect us to other people and the world around us. And I have to say, I really like it. Feelings like anxiety are so isolating. Surely this shift would help. I'm really keen to hear your thoughts, and I'd particularly like to hear from anyone from an East Asian background or from any other culture that thinks in this kind of way, because I want to know what this experience is like for you. Please let me know in the comments.